Canada stands on the cusp of arguably the most consequential strategic decision in its modern history, the selection of a new fleet of 88 fighter jets. This choice, an investment worth tens of billions of dollars, is more than just a military procurement. It is a profound declaration about Canada's identity, its industrial future, and its geopolitical independence in the 21st century. For years, the narrative has been simple. As a founding partner, Canada was expected to fall in line and select the American-led F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. It seemed inevitable, a matter of maintaining the status quo, an acceptance of historical norms that sometimes prioritize partnership convenience over national self-reliance. But what if Ottawa chose a different path, a path rooted in Canadian ingenuity and strategic autonomy? What if, in a stunning display of strategic foresight and national self-reliance, Canada selected the Saab Gripen E-F? This hypothetical choice is the ultimate affirmation of Canadian sovereignty, unlocking a cascade of economic, technological, and military benefits that redefine our place on the global stage. Tonight, we delve into the exhilarating, positive consequences of this hypothetical, yet entirely plausible choice. This is the moment Canada shocks the world and chooses a future built by Canadians for Canadians, demonstrating leadership through intelligent procurement. The moment Canada officially announces the acquisition of 88 Gripen E-F fighters, the shockwaves would certainly hit Washington, reflecting a geopolitical surprise, but they would be instantly followed by roaring applause across Canadian cities and a surge of optimism in our aerospace sector. While the US might express temporary frustration after all, we are a NORAD partner and invested in the early F-35 development. This moment is not about rejection of an ally. It is about evolution and securing our best national interest. It signals that a top ally, a nation committed to NATO and continental defense, has chosen a more robust, cost-effective, and industrially beneficial path to fulfill its obligations, prioritizing national control over external technological dependencies. The most transformative immediate effect of selecting the Gripen lies not in the skies, but on the ground. The creation of a brand new fighter jet assembly line inside Canada. This is a monumental commitment, a game changer that the competitor could never offer at this scale, and it is the absolute cornerstone of our new, self-reliant industrial future. This commitment is far more than a simple industrial offset. It is the establishment of a permanent strategic national asset, instantly positioning Canada as the Western Hemisphere's Gripen hub. This assembly line immediately becomes a jobs powerhouse, repatriating and cultivating aviation expertise, engineering talent, and high-value manufacturing capabilities that might otherwise have been permanently exported. This comprehensive industrial package ensures that the tens of billions of dollars Canada spends on national defense flow back into Canadian manufacturing, crucial research and development, R&D, and the supporting supply chain across the nation. This guarantees maximum economic yield for Canadian families and businesses. This strategic industrial investment speaks directly to the heart of the Canadian identity, pride in workmanship, innovation, and self-reliance, providing career security and high-tech opportunities for generations of Canadians, from the traditional aerospace centers in Quebec and Ontario to the emerging technology hubs in the West. This guaranteed transfer of assembly and maintenance expertise solidifies our position as a sophisticated high-tech nation, capable not only of operating cutting-edge military hardware, but of building and improving it on our own soil. This profound level of guaranteed economic return and industrial growth is directly tied to the aircraft's core technological philosophy, which provides the critical advantage of true operational and technological autonomy. By choosing Gripen, Canada gains access to an unprecedented package of deep technology transfer. Saab is famously collaborative, operating on a principle of partnership that views its client nations as integral participants in the evolution of the aircraft system. This means Canada gains the freedom that is absolutely essential for true military independence in the digital age: access to the source code. This is an immense, game-changing advantage, a true leap forward in national control over critical defense infrastructure. It means the Royal Canadian Air Force and Canadian industry, our brilliant engineers and software developers working within Canadian security parameters, can modify, update, and tailor the jet's core systems and avionics without the bureaucratic burden or the strategic vulnerability of needing to seek continuous restrictive permissions from a foreign government. This technological control translates into strategic freedom. It provides the absolute ability to seamlessly integrate Canadian-made weapons, sensors, data links, and cutting-edge electronic warfare suites that are specifically designed to meet our unique threats and operating environments. No longer would Canada be beholden to foreign export controls, proprietary technological choke points, or the release schedules of other nations for essential operational upgrades and mission adaptability. We seize absolute control of our own destiny in the digital age of warfare, ensuring that the defense of our nation is always governed by decisions made in Ottawa, informed by Canadian intelligence and technological needs, not dictated by external priorities. This profound technological empowerment extends far beyond military applications, acting as a powerful and much-needed catalyst for innovation across the broader Canadian economy. Software-defined jets like the Gripen require continuous, cutting-edge input in areas like cybersecurity, high-level artificial intelligence, AI integration, sensor fusion, and sophisticated electronic warfare specialization. The Gripen deal, therefore, becomes a national strategic driver, funneling sustained R&D investment into Canadian universities, research institutes, and technology startups. This ensures that our brightest minds are incentivized to stay right here in Canada, building the future of our defense technology and creating a dynamic, self-sustaining, and globally competitive aerospace ecosystem for the next half-century. This technological self-reliance is absolutely vital because Canada is, first and foremost, an Arctic nation, and our sovereignty is inextricably linked to our ability to operate reliably and effectively in the world's harshest climate. The Gripen was born for cold weather, designed and perfected in Sweden, which shares a similar challenging northern environment and strategic focus, providing built-in operational resilience. When Canada selects the Gripen, we are not just acquiring a capable multi-role aircraft, we are commissioning a bespoke Arctic-specific defender uniquely suited to our geography and operational tempo. This includes guaranteed features tailored to our needs, such as robust ultra-cold start capability, ensuring rapid deployment even in the most extreme sub-zero temperatures prevalent in the far north, and specialized anti-icing upgrades and materials engineering designed for the volatile atmospheric conditions over the Canadian North. Crucially, the Gripen's modular design, simple ground support equipment requirements, and low maintenance footprint, hallmarks of its robust engineering philosophy, allow for extraordinary dispersed operations excellence, DOE. This means our new fleet can operate effectively from forward operating locations, frozen highways, remote airstrips, and minimal infrastructure with unprecedented speed and efficiency, a critical advantage over heavier aircraft with much higher logistical demands. This capability translates directly into true Arctic independence. The RCAF would suddenly possess the means to effectively patrol, secure, and operate across our massive northern frontier with persistence and autonomy, reducing our continuous, heavy reliance on sprawling southern bases and the extensive logistical support systems often necessitated by heavier, less adaptable designs. This move shifts the entire paradigm of Arctic air policing, establishing a robust, persistent, and independently sustained Canadian presence where it matters most, affirming our nation's commitment to its sovereign territory, and projecting our strength as a responsible, capable, and self-reliant nation in the increasingly vital Arctic region. This confluence of factors, the guaranteed massive return on investment through the Canadian assembly line, the empowerment of our engineers through source code access and technological control, and the intrinsic suitability for our unique northern requirements makes the choice of the Gripen a profound statement of national confidence. It is a decision that elevates Canadian industry, empowers Canadian innovators, and confirms our nation's role as a self-reliant power, capable of meeting its defense obligations on its own terms, securing not just our skies, but our economic and technological future for decades to come. The strategic and industrial benefits established by selecting the Gripen, the creation of a domestic assembly line, the acquisition of source code, and the development of a tailored Arctic defender are foundational. Yet, the positive consequences of this choice ripple far wider, reshaping Canada's geopolitical relationships, strengthening global defense resilience, and fundamentally transforming the identity and operational capacity of the Royal Canadian Air Force, RCAF. This is where Canada steps forward, not just as a reliable partner, but as a strategic leader, diversifying its defense portfolio and setting an example for other middle powers navigating the complexities of modern military procurement. The immediate geopolitical impact of choosing the Gripen would necessarily begin with our closest ally, the United States. While media outlets might dramatize a diplomatic freeze, the reality is far more constructive, a strategic recalibration rooted in mutual respect and the evolution of the NORAD partnership. The narrative shifts from one of dependence to one of collaborative innovation. While the US might initially express public sentiments of respecting Canada's decision while privately expressing frustration, the relationship endures because it is built on shared values and continental security needs. The decision forces the US to recognize and engage with Canadian independence, transforming NORAD modernization into a truly multinational technological environment. Instead of NORAD being an American-driven technological upgrade based solely on a single platform, the introduction of the highly compatible but distinct Gripen forces a joint technological evolution. This unprecedented move means that the existing operational principles of NORAD, that Canada and the US must work together in the same airspace using synchronized technology, must now embrace diversity. The Gripen can absolutely integrate with NORAD, but it mandates the US to allow seamless, secure data sharing, including encrypted data links, sensor fusion pipelines, and joint missile warning networks. This requirement for new agreements elevates Canada's role from a consumer of technology to an equal partner in defining the parameters of continental defense integration. This is not a weakening of NORAD. It is a strengthening through diversification and mutual respect. A key component of this diversification is the necessary integration of non-American weapon systems into the North American defense ecosystem, a historic first. Canada may now choose Gripen-compatible weapons such as the formidable Meteor missile, the highly agile Iris-T air-to-air missile, or the effective RBS-15 anti-ship missile, all proven systems that enhance the RCAF's multi-role capabilities. The need for NORAD to integrate these non-American weapons signals a maturity in the partnership, acknowledging that the best defense often relies on drawing from the best technology globally, not just domestically. This change solidifies Canada's position as a key strategic partner capable of deploying a wider arsenal of high-performance tools, ultimately enhancing the alliance's resilience. Furthermore, the operational flexibility of the Gripen profoundly shifts how we execute Arctic air policing. As established, the jet's inherent resilience allows it to operate from frozen highways, remote airstrips, and minimal infrastructure. This means the RCAF suddenly gains genuine Arctic independence in deployment, moving away from reliance on extended logistical supply lines and heavy US support for every forward mission. This ability to operate effectively from remote locations utilizing mobile maintenance units and dispersed operations ensures Canadian forces are always present and prepared across the high north, cementing our territorial claim and projecting sovereignty without technological encumbrance. This self-reliance ensures that our NORAD commitment is fulfilled by a sovereign Canadian capability that is optimized for our territory. Internationally, the Canadian decision to embrace the Gripen would send immediate, positive shockwaves throughout NATO and allied nations, fostering global resilience. Firstly, Sweden's influence skyrockets. As Sweden joins NATO, its credibility as a major high-tech defense supplier to the alliance is dramatically confirmed by Canada, a highly respected founding member. Secondly, Europe gains palpable confidence. European nations, many of whom are grappling with similar choices between strategic autonomy and technological dependence, see that they don't always need to rely on a single US-built fighter. The Gripen immediately gains renewed, serious interest from potential new operators, including nations like the Czech Republic, Hungary, and the Philippines, who prioritize operational cost-effectiveness and control. Crucially, this action serves to break the F-35 monopoly. When Canada, a top US partner and staunch ally, chooses to prioritize its unique national and industrial needs over platform commonality, it demonstrates a powerful lesson. Strategic autonomy is achievable. This forces other nations to reconsider their own choices, or, at the very least, strengthens their negotiating position with Lockheed Martin. Finally, this decision enhances NATO logistics diversification. The alliance no longer relies on one single fighter type for such a large percentage of its future missions. This diversification strengthens alliance resilience against supply chain shocks, political delays, or technical vulnerabilities affecting a single platform, making NATO stronger and more adaptable overall. Canada, by prioritizing its own sovereignty, is in fact leading the charge for greater allied resilience. For the men and women of the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Gripen means a total and inspiring transformation built on efficiency and excellence. The most compelling operational benefit is the lower cost and higher availability. The Gripen's operational cost is extremely low compared to its competitors. This means Canada can afford to fly more hours, conduct more thorough Arctic patrols, and, most crucially, train more pilots to an exceptional standard. A fighter jet that is not flying is not defending, and the Gripen ensures Canada's investment translates directly into high operational tempo. This is paired with an exceptionally faster maintenance cycle. The Gripen's modular design allows for rapid component replacement and easier, simpler maintenance, enabling quick turnaround times. Much of the required maintenance can be performed by minimal crew, which is a massive, life-saving advantage when operating from remote or austere forward bases in the Canadian North. This efficiency directly supports the core mission: maximum time on task, minimum time on the ground. Beyond logistics, the choice empowers the service through Canadian weapons on Canadian jets. This massive strategic shift allows the RCAF to integrate future Canadian-made missile systems or sensors without foreign approval roadblocks, fostering a genuine sense of ownership and control over their fighting capability. Finally, the training pipelines change for the better. Pilots will receive Scandinavian-style training emphasizing sophisticated electronic warfare, dispersed operations, and data-centric combat methodologies. This philosophy creates a new generation of RCAF pilots with cutting-edge skills, ready to lead and innovate within the NORAD and NATO environments. This commitment to efficiency and autonomy ensures that the RCAF is not just flying a new jet, it is embracing a new, self-reliant operational culture. Domestically, the enduring positive benefits are truly massive, confirming that this procurement is a national investment, not an expense. The economic impact begins with the tens of thousands of new, high-quality jobs created or sustained through the entire life cycle, from the assembly lines and avionics software engineering to maintenance, support, and the deep supply chains built right here in Canada. This creates a powerful new Canadian aerospace ecosystem, solidifying our nation as the Western Hemisphere's Gripen training, upgrade, maintenance, and export support hub. This commitment to domestic industry acts as a magnet for global talent and investment. Crucially, Canadian universities and technology startups are drawn into the defense world as never before. Software-based jets like the Gripen require continuous advancement in cyber talent, AI integration, and EW specialists, driving innovation and highly valuable intellectual property creation across the entire Canadian economy. Above all, this choice provides Canada with strategic independence. No longer must we wait for or depend on the political approval of a foreign entity for every major upgrade, new weapon integration, or strategic operational decision regarding our own fighter fleet. This freedom to act in our national interest without foreign encumbrance is arguably the biggest, yet often invisible, benefit of choosing the Gripen. It is a decision that respects our sovereignty, secures our economy, and provides the RCAF with the ultimate operational tool for the unique demands of the 21st century Canadian defense landscape. This hypothetical decision is a moment of profound national pride. It is a moment where Canada asserts its place on the global stage, not by conforming, but by leading with intelligence, efficiency, and respect for its own long-term interests. It confirms that the path to a stronger NORAD, a more resilient NATO, and a more prosperous Canadian economy lies in choosing sovereignty and industrial self-reliance. This purchase is not merely about acquiring 88 fighter jets. It is about guaranteeing Canada's strong, independent future for the next 50 years. What do you, as proud Canadians, who remember the long fights for our national identity and economic stability, believe is the single most important long-term benefit of Canada asserting its technological independence with a choice like the Gripen? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation about Canada's future in the sky. Thank you, dear Canadians, for taking the time to absorb this deep, strategic analysis of a truly pivotal moment for our nation. We've meticulously explored how the hypothetical choice of the Gripen E, F with its guaranteed Canadian assembly line, unprecedented technological access, and inherent Arctic capability serves as the ultimate catalyst for Canadian sovereignty and industrial resurgence. This is more than a defense procurement. It is a foundational investment in our collective future. We believe that by controlling our own source code and manufacturing, we define a new, proud legacy for generations to come. If this positive vision of a more independent, technologically advanced, and strategically self-reliant Canada resonates with the pride you feel for our nation, we earnestly ask that you take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support fuels our ability to bring you essential, in-depth discussions about Canada's global standing. Now, the floor is yours. We want to hear your voice and your vision for our national security. Beyond the assembly line, what specific area of Canadian innovation, AI, software, materials science, do you think will gain the most momentum from this technology transfer? How does the RCAF's new operational culture of self-reliance, emphasized by the Gripen, change how Canada participates in NATO and NORAD missions? If this choice sets a global precedent for middle powers, what message does Canada send about national self-determination? We look forward to reading your thoughtful comments and engaging in a truly Canadian discussion. We send our warmest regards and best wishes to you and yours for a healthy and prosperous future.